There's a version of you that you can't seem to put down. Maybe it's something you did, something you said, a season of your life you're not proud of, a label someone gave you, or one you gave yourself, that has followed you into every room you've walked into since. You've changed. You know you've changed. But that old version still feels like the real you, and the new version feels like something you're performing. If that's where you are, I want to show you something today that isn't just a nice thought. It's a complete reframing of how God sees identity. And it comes from a passage written to a group of people whose entire identity had collapsed. By the end of this video, you'll understand what God means in Isaiah 43 when he says, "I am doing a new thing." And 3 specific ways this verse dismantles the power your past has over you. This is not about forgetting what happened. It's about what happens next. The passage we're building on today is Isaiah 43 verses 18 and 19. To understand why this hits so hard, you need to know who God was speaking to. This was written to people in exile. Their nation was gone. Their temple, the center of their identity and worship, had been destroyed. Everything that told them who they were had collapsed. And into that wreckage, God says this, Isaiah 43, 18, 19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Notice what God does not say. He doesn't say, the former things never happened. He doesn't erase their history. What he says is, stop letting those things have the final word over what happens next. Dwell is the key word here. It doesn't mean remember. It means to live in, to make your home in. God isn't asking them to forget their history. He's telling them to stop living there. And then, I am doing a new thing. Present tense. Not I will, eventually, once you've proven yourself. Right now, while they were still in exile, while the consequences of the past were still visible all around them, God was already doing something new. Step 1. Your past does not get a vote in who you are now. Here's what makes this hard. The world operates on a different rule. Your history becomes your record, and your record becomes your reputation, and your reputation becomes how people treat you. That's how human systems work. But God's economy doesn't run on record keeping. It runs on what He is doing now. And what He is doing now is not contingent on what you did then. This doesn't mean consequences disappear. The exile was real. The destruction was real. But the verse doesn't say, once the consequences are fully resolved, then I'll do a new thing. It says He's doing it now, in the middle of the wreckage. Practically, this means the labels you've been carrying, failure, fraud, damage, too far gone, do not have a seat at the table when God is deciding what to do with your life. They had a vote once. They don't anymore. Step 2. Do you not perceive it? You might be missing what God is already doing because you're looking backward. This question isn't rhetorical scolding. It's an honest observation. God is saying, this new thing is springing up right now, and there's a real chance you're not seeing it because your attention is fixed on the rearview mirror. Think about how this works practically. If you're driving while constantly checking what's behind you, you'll miss the road in front of you. Not because the road isn't there, but because you're not looking at it. The new thing in your life right now might be a relationship that's different from your old patterns. An opportunity you almost dismissed because that's not who I am. A moment of peace that felt unfamiliar because the old you would have been anxious. These are not small things. They're the new things springing up. The question is whether you're perceiving it. Practically, today, ask yourself, what is one thing in my life right now that does not match my old story? Not your whole life transformed overnight, just one thing. That one thing is evidence. Don't dismiss it because it's small. Step 3. God doesn't wait for ideal conditions. He works best in wastelands. Look at where Isaiah says this new thing happens. A way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Not a way around the wilderness. A way through it. Not streams after the wasteland is cleared away. Streams in the wasteland while it's still a wasteland. This matters because so many of us are waiting for our lives to look more put together before we believe God can do something significant with us. We think, once I fix this, once I've overcome that, once enough time has passed to prove I've changed, then maybe. But the pattern throughout Scripture is the opposite. God didn't wait for Israel to rebuild the temple before doing a new thing. He did the new thing in the wilderness, and the rebuilding came after, as a result of it. Your wasteland, whatever it is for you, is not a waiting room before God can use you. It might be exactly where the new thing is springing up. Streams in the wasteland aren't a metaphor for someday. They're a metaphor for right where you are standing. So let's bring this together. Your past is real. What happened, happened. But Isaiah 43 tells us 3 things. Your past does not get a vote in what God does next. You might already be missing the new thing because you're looking backward. And God doesn't need your life to look finished before He starts working. He specializes in wastelands. None of this erases your story. It just means your story doesn't get to write the ending anymore. Here's what I want you to do. In the comments, I want you to write just 2 words. New thing. That's it. Writing it is a small act, but it's also a declaration. You're telling God and yourself that you're ready to stop dwelling and start perceiving. If this spoke to you, the 30-day biblical self-improvement devotional goes much deeper into this. The very first week is built entirely around identity and who God says you are. The link is in the description, completely free to grab, and if someone you know is still stuck in a chapter that's already over, send them this video. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is remind someone that the story isn't finished. I'll see you in the next one.